What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. Hey, Sean, happy Friday.
Oh, no, wait. It's not Friday.
Just kidding, it's
You
Thursday.
little liar.
I know.
You're a liar. It's
I was gonna see if you noticed.
Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Why are we doing this on Thursday?
Because it's going to snow tomorrow.
Snow, so scary. Oh, snow. You get it?
Not scary for me, because I can walk here.
And
I have been, although I didn't this time, but
yeah. You live like a block away.
yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah. It's the middle of the winter. We're not working today because it had snowed.
It had snowed.
The ground, but then it also turned to like a rain. It was like kind of the worst kind of snow you get because it was like a snow.
100% the worst rain.
Then a freezing rain. So it's like you got like a half an inch of ice on top of like 2 or 3 inches of snow.
Yep.
And it's just coated on everything.
It's on everything, and it didn't get above freezing, so nothing melted until like 1 o'clock today. Things started melting around here.
But then it's going to freeze again. So it's just going to get
gonna
even
freeze
worse.
again overnight, and
It's
then
just gonna get even
more
worse.
snow is going to go on top of it. And then I think it's going to be the same situation where it rains a little bit at the end, freezes
Oh,
over, and then the
no.
weekend is supposed to be absolutely bitterly cold. So, you know,
Great.
there's that weather report. Lovely in South Jersey.
Yes.
But
Cold everywhere though.
because of this, yeah, it does seem that way.
It does.
I
Did
think I
you?
saw that it even snowed in Southern California, and I don't know if that was made up or not. But if so,
Who
that's
knows?
crazy.
You can't trust anything anymore. Everything's AI.
Yeah, it's true.
We're not even real.
Robots.
Robots. Yeah, what about that? Did you ever, I mentioned it the other day, the lake effect snow. Did you do some research on that?
I did not do any research on that. I do apologize.
I
came
didn't
the
tell you
conclusion
to,
in my mind, and
or
then I
ask you
went with
to,
it.
but I just thought maybe, diligent person you would have.
I'm usually a Googler, but I did not Google
You did
that.
not. I wonder what's up with that. Yeah, Buffalo, they get like feet of snow
Yeah.
in like 8 hours.
Did you see all the footage of them like clearing out the stadium in
Yes.
Buffalo? That was wild.
And there were so many people, like, why is it a thing, like, that men do where, like, they think they're really tough because they're not wearing a shirt when it's so cold?
I don't know, but I guess it's the same thing as like ice baths.
Oh. So it's maybe like a health thing. It's like a mind refresher. I don't think so.
I feel like when
'Cause usually
when
these
you
people
tag it to,
look drunk.
I was gonna say when you tag
Yeah.
it to football teams and games, I feel like it's more of like a drunk thing,
Yeah.
than a health thing.
Right.
But I feel like it's the same mindset. Like if you can beat the cold, then you can beat anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you can beat the cold, you can beat the other team. Because I saw some videos of like people, they hired fans to shovel out the stadium.
Yeah.
And there was like these big
Oh, did they pay those people? I thought that was like a
$20 an hour.
Oh.
Not bad.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not great, but
I thought it was like heartwarming, like, oh, the fan base just did this. They rallied and got this done, but a little
No.
less heartwarming that they got paid, but I guess good for them.
yeah. But they had these big like slides sort of
Yeah.
to shovel the snow onto, and then it went onto the field, so I guess they could scoop it out.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of a guy not wearing a shirt and sliding down the slide in the snow.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. It's too cold. You're going to get
Do that.
frostbite.
Yeah, interesting
Anyway.
people.
Yeah.
But all this coldness and snow and wintry things led us to this week's topic of like fighting the winter blues,
SAD, seasonal affective disorder.
seasonal affective disorder.
And what to do when it's cold
to
out.
do.
You're either slower on site, you're off site, there's a lot of emotions that go on in the snow.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, we should be out working, we should be doing stuff. And you're like kind of anxious and stuff like that, but you gotta slow down a little bit, enjoy it, and try to get some deep work done.
Yeah.
Like some big picture stuff.
Yeah.
Take a step back. So we're going to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get to our book review finally, which is
Yes.
How to Win Friends and Influence People. So that's cool.
Yep. Stay tuned for that.
Should we also talk about our holiday party?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit before
The
we get into
holiday,
our topics.
premier holiday party. Catherine, thank you so much for putting that on.
You are welcome.
Catherine planned it and bought the tickets for the Sixers game, which I may or may not pay her back for. I will. So yeah, it was really fun. We went to a Philadelphia 76ers game. It was on MLK Day, so it was a day game, 1 o'clock tip-off. We got a limo.
got a limo. Yeah, that was fun.
Is that paid for?
You did pay for that part.
I
Yeah.
did pay for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Like beforehand? Or they charged? They got a card?
We left a deposit, and I gave them the credit card information, so I'm sure that they have just since also charged that.
Probably a
I
bunch.
didn't get like a receipt or anything.
No
Maybe
receipt?
I should get a receipt.
Probably.
No, I didn't even get a receipt for the deposit. Check your statements.
I'll check it. Yeah. I will definitely check it.
That was actually kind of a, not off topic, but they like, it was so strange. Like, I never even talked to these people. I just emailed them, and I was like, it was like you send in like a form, and then he emailed me back and said like, this is how much it's going to cost. You want to book it? And I said, yeah. And he's like, cool, send me your credit card. Did it. And then it was like a couple days before, and I was like, I feel like that wasn't like enough interaction for me to like feel comfortable about like this being here. So I like emailed him, and I was like, hey, just checking in, like make sure it's at this address at this time, blah, blah, blah. And he just said, all set. That was it. And I never talked to any of these people.
That's great.
And I feel like it's...
You probably would have like maybe been a little bit more leery had it been your credit card.
No.
No? Okay.
I feel like, I mean, that's the point of a credit card. Like,
You can dispute it. We've been over that. Yeah.
You can dispute it. And also,
Yep.
like, if it's fraudulent, then you can just, like, if it's legitimately fraudulent, you have, like, protection. So I feel like that's the point of a credit card. So I'm fine
Sure.
with that. But, and I've, like, it's a local company that I'd heard of, and I know that it's, like,
What
a
was it called?
reputable company. First Class.
First class, yeah.
And, you know, it's right on 130. You drive by it all the time.
You do.
So I was pretty sure they weren't going to scam us, but I wasn't confident in them, like, being here when we needed them.
Yeah.
And then I just got the email back, all set, period.
No
Then
exclamation point?
Bill got here, and not only was he here, he was here early. So
He was here early.
no exclamation point. All set. Period. Straight
All about business.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
So very 2024 way of doing things.
So do you applaud them? I mean, they got the sale. The experience was. Would you have rather had like some sort of phone call at some point?
I would have felt more comforted by some sort of phone call,
Okay.
but all in all, I don't mind the like. I mean, millennials get this like rap of like never wanting to talk to anybody, so I do have that a little bit inside of me. So I'm
Right.
kind of fine with that. But if it were something like I was renting this for like my wedding day or something, then I would definitely want like to talk
The
to
dog and
somebody
pony show.
and like
Yeah.
I would want a little bit more interaction. I think
Okay.
more confirmation of like, okay, this is what's happening.
You talk to me, I talk to you. It's all set. Here's a commemorable keychain to take with you.
commemorate this phone conversation.
Yes.
Something like that. But anyway, it all worked out and it was fine. And the game was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
In our lovely Sixers stadium, there's something called the Revolutionary Row, which is the very top row, but there's like a bar around it. And there's like a sports betting section, which we didn't really figure out how that was working, but there's tons of like screens behind you where you can watch a bunch of different games, and there's fireplaces and a bunch of places to sit around all of that. So
Yeah.
and then also you have like an unobstructed glass view of the court. So I
It
thought
was
that
very
would be
cool.
fun seats for everybody, and
Yeah.
I think everybody had a good time.
I think everybody had a great time, and it was just cool to take off for the day.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I did want to talk about this because
Oh, okay, go
this
ahead.
is my theory. I love holiday parties. I think that they're lovely and they're wonderful, and it's such a nice time to like thank your employees and your coworkers and celebrate the year and all that kind of stuff.
But don't make me do it on my time. Is that what you were going to say?
Not necessarily, but
Yeah.
like, who wants to work all day and then like rush home and like, especially for us because we work in construction, so it's not like we can just go like straight from the office to wherever we're going. Like we have to go
Right.
home and get cleaned up, and then you guys have kids, so then you have to like organize a babysitter, and like some people have spouses, some people don't, so some people be coming by themselves, and I always just like worry about that kind of stuff. And I think that
Yeah.
and also it's nice to like bond with people's spouses, but do those people's spouses like want to bond with like your coworkers all the time?
Yeah, maybe people's spouses suck. Who knows?
Well, not that they suck, but it's like you only get so much free time in a day. Do you want to spend it
With your
with people that
spouse's
you don't
coworkers.
even really know?
Yeah.
So I always just think that like
Was there a lot of pushback from Pat? He was like, "Don't invite me. I know you're planning this party. Make sure it's during work hours because
No.
I don't want to go."
no. I don't.
He was
with,
actually
like, our
probably
crew-
pissed.
With our crew,
He would have loved the Sixers game.
he would love to go to a Sixers
Yeah.
game. Yeah, he took his crew to a Flyers game for their Christmas party.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think it's different with ours because we're such a small crew. So I'm just talking like figuratively. But like
Yeah.
when I worked for bigger companies and we had to do Christmas parties, I was like, I don't want to make small talk with these strangers. Like, Then I have to introduce Pat to everybody. It's like, I don't know. It's not a vibe. It's not necessarily a vibe. With a close-knit construction company, it's a little bit different. But also, I think it's kind of nice to do something during work hours because then you're kind of getting the time. You're spending time with your coworkers, but you're kind of getting the time off and you're doing something fun. And then people don't have to arrange babysitters or, worry about other people's schedules. You can just, you already know you're going to be working at that time anyway. So, it just kind of works out and you get to bond with your coworkers in a different kind of way. So that's my personal stance on them. I think it would have been fine whether we invited spouses or not. I don't know if many, other people work, so you can't really.
It's also
but
well, the last 2 years we tried to plan a holiday party and then someone or everyone got COVID every single time. But especially around the holidays, it's really difficult to plan it out where everyone
it's so busy.
Everyone is available at night or on a weekend and their spouse. It's so hard to find a date that works. So I thought this was awesome because it's like you said, hey, you're either going to come to work today or we're going to go to a Sixers game. Great.
Yeah.
Sixers game more fun than working. So I think it worked out pretty great.
Yeah.
Everyone had a good time and Steve was so pumped about it.
Yeah.
He was super pumped. Nick was super pumped. So yeah.
I think everybody had a great time.
Yeah.
Jose seemed to really like it.
Yeah.
He thanked me as well for planning it. So I think that all in all, a
no
success.
one thanked me. No, Steve did. Steve did. He texted me. He said, thanks again it was so much fun.
Oh, nice.
No one else did, but oh well.
Sean, thanks for that. Thanks for a good day.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I mean, you're welcome or whatever. What do you say? No one ever says thank you to me, so I don't know how to respond. Anywho, it was a great time.
It was really fun.
It was, and what did we say? We're gonna set out some goals, and if we hit them, we're gonna do courtside next year.
Yes.
That'd be sick.
I think that is such a fun idea. And it's one of my lifetime goals to sit
Me
courtside.
too.
And I know that you've also said that.
Yeah.
So if we could tie a business goal into it so then we have an incentive to really make it happen, I think that'd be really great. So next year, watch out. We'll be courtside.
And if we don't hit that goal, then we'll just play a game of pickup basketball at the park. That could be fun too.
That kind of sounds fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into our topic, which is being sad when it's cold. No, just the winter. It's a different vibe. It's a different pace. It's a different, everything. Whether you're working inside or outside, being cold and it being cold out. A lot of things slow down because people aren't wanting to get a lot of work done. People are kind of it's just not as busy of a time for a lot of people. So,
yeah.
It can lead to a lot of different emotions.
Yeah. It's like the doldrums of the winter now because all the holidays are over. So now it's just
cold.
It's just cold until it becomes spring. So I think that really does.
President's Day coming up.
Okay.
Always a lot of good sales. Cars.
For President's Day? Oh, on cars?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
Come on down to Kia. President's Day sale.
Toyotathon.
I saw a meme that said, or no, it wasn't Toyotathon, but it was I forget what the picture was, but it was something, and it said this is your reminder not to eat the lobster biscuit, the Lexus December to Remember event or something. It was just funny. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I've seen memes about that where it's happy December to remember to all who celebrate or whatever.
Yeah. I've always wanted, as a kid, I think I always had this, it was ingrained in me to one day get a car with a big bow on it.
Yeah.
I never got one.
Yeah, I always thought as a child, wow, you've really made it if your spouse buys you a car for Christmas. And then it's it's not really how it works when you're an adult because it's
yeah, now
when you're married, it's you're both buying it. And then it's kind of well,
we have to pay for it together and I didn't get to pick anything out.
You just made this huge financial decision and I didn't have a say in it. That kind of sucks.
We're getting a divorce, but I am keeping the car. Thank you. Yeah, that kind of stuff's funny.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Anyway,
we're
okay,
sad. No, we're actually happy.
Yeah.
Let's you said you had prepared something, some notes or something?
No, I prepared the notes for the book portion of this.
Oh, okay. So
This
here
we were
we're
just
just
kinda riffing.
we're just riffing.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Because I heard this concept recently about wintering, like, and how, like, our bodies naturally go into winter mode because just like the earth and the seasons, our body and our motivation and, you know, just our general wellness goes through different seasons as well. So during the winter, especially in places where you have seasons like New Jersey where it does get very cold,
Right.
you know, it's not necessarily seasonal affective disorder where you're like depressed, but you know, your body just does like slow down a little bit. Maybe you put on a couple pounds.
Hey, we ain't judging you. It's okay.
Happens to the best of us.
Yep.
But
Happens
it's just
to
kind
me
of
for
like
sure.
But
Yeah.
it's kind of like a natural cycle because just like an environment cannot operate if it's like 100 degrees every single day all year round. Our bodies and our motivation and our, you know, our beings can't function if we are going 100% every single day.
Not with that attitude.
We need rest.
No, I
So
totally
the
agree.
winter is a part of the year for resting, which is kind of counterintuitive because you think like, no, this is a great time to just keep going and, you know, it's the new year. I got all these motivations and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But like, and obviously you can't like stop and hibernate like a bear, but it is a good time to kind of
Not
just
with that
slow
attitude?
down. And I feel like this winter I have definitely been like, I get home, I do not want to leave. It is dark. I'm like
Yeah,
so
it's
ready to
cold,
just
yeah.
like
Yeah.
kind of after work hibernate. And I don't know if maybe that's just I work outside all day and it's like all I want to do is
Maybe.
take a hot shower and sit
maybe.
under a cozy blanket. But
One of the big goals I have that I've been trying to work towards is getting some nice house slippers.
oh,
That's really big on my thing for this
Okay.
winter. I want to get some nice cozy house slippers.
okay.
So as soon as I come in, you know, now I enter through the garage, which I've always wanted to do that.
I'm so jealous of that.
You should be.
All I want to do is get a house where you enter through the garage and then put all of my shoes out there.
Yes.
And then you never have to wear shoes in your house. You just you get your shoes on
Oh, you got your
before
house
you
slippers.
leave. You change into your house slippers. That's,
Exactly.
Oh, what a luxury.
Oh yeah, I'm living large. And one of our plans is to make that like kind of bonus room there, big mud room,
Oh, that would be a very large mud room.
huge.
What else are you going to have
So
in
much
there?
room for mud.
Yeah, what are you going to do in there?
Mud everywhere. I don't think it's as big as it. Well, it's also like a foyer.
Okay.
It's like a mudroom / foyer.
Um,
It's not as big as you think. I don't think
I think I went into it.
you did. Yeah.
Wasn't it a bedroom?
So
like,
yeah,
set
it
up
was,
as
but
it
that
wa-
would be
it-
so weird if it was still. Yeah.
Huh. Okay, well, cool. A big
Thanks.
old mudroom.
Appreciate it.
Are you going to build, like, nice coat closets or something?
Oh, like lockers. You know, like mudroom lockers.
Okay.
You know. So are we getting off track again?
I think this is exactly the track we were meant to go on.
Yeah. It was destiny. Yeah, I've really made it. Yeah, that's pretty much the summing that up. But
Okay.
winter. Oh, we were talking about the slippers. I got off track with the slippers. That was
it's your winter
that's
goal
the
to get the
smoking
slippers.
gun. The
Yeah.
slippers is what got me into this. But you know, this whole week we've been kind of slow. You know, we had
Yeah.
the holiday party. It's like, you know, the weather's just terrible. It snowed. It's freezing. All that kind of stuff. And I feel like for me, one of the things that I want to, well, not want to, like my default mode is like, oh God, we're not working. Like we're falling behind. Like we need to be, you know, getting out there. Like yesterday we went on site and I wasn't really expecting everything to be like so ice covered.
Yeah.
But it was, and it was just like, all right, we could probably do like a couple things, but it's going to be miserable. It's going to be so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Let's just call it a day and we'll get back at it next week. And it gives us time to like catch up on stuff. You know, there was a ton of paperwork I got done yesterday. You know, just kind of like forecasting different things for the year, working on like uninterrupted design time for some upcoming projects, and just like not being distracted by other things. For me, that is like super, super helpful to my mental state, to my effectiveness on site and as a business owner. And I think for everybody else that like, you know, you have plenty of stuff to do when we're not on site. Mm-hmm. So does Steve with editing stuff. But the other guys, like, you know, Ant was doing some takeoff stuff and everything, but it's still like, you know, we're not going as fast and as hard as we're going the rest of the year. So it's just nice to like have that little bit of a break. Like, you know, because when the weather gets nice, we're going to be running and gunning. Like, I think it's really important to at least, you know, I think when you're an employee and it's like you have off, it's just like, great. I don't have any stress. Like, I don't care. Like, this is awesome. When you're the owner, it's your natural, like, you're kind of leaning into that, like, anxiety a little bit. You know, you can go down like you know, a rabbit hole of like, oh God, you know, this whole week we're not really working, we're not producing, all the bills are still coming in. But it goes back to like, you planned for this. Yeah. This is what we've designed the business around. Like, we know that this is our overhead. We've talked about all that kind of stuff. But it's still hard to like break out of that mindset, but you really need to, and be able to like, you know, enjoy the little bit of a slower pace in the winter and use it as time to like get some important things done and like clear your mind and be able to see things a little bit clearer. Yeah. Years ago, when the business was just starting, we used to take off for like 8 to 10 weeks in the winter. And that's when I would do stuff like build the whole website, you know, figure out how to run Facebook ads, like work on, you know, social media presence, make different like graphics and do all this different kind of stuff that like you don't really have time for during the year. And I really miss that because it allows you to like completely refocus. It like has a clear separation from like, this was last season. This is the end. The season is over. We can evaluate what happened. The new season is going to start in 8 weeks. We have all this time to prepare. We, meaning me. It was just like a cleaner mental break where it's, this year's over. We have this break. We're starting in, say, March 1st. And I have all this time uninterrupted to plan and clear my head and pull yourself back from the day-to-day runnings of a job site and be able to see it, you know, from that like 30,000 foot view and be able to kind of like connect some dots that you can't when you're like right in the middle of things. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't work here when you did that, so I can't relate to that, but it does seem like that would be a nice little break. Yeah. And it gets you jazzed up for starting the next.
Oh, yeah.
It gives you time to like, be like, oh, I missed that. And then you go back to it and you're like, let's hit this.
Let's hit it hard. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's hit this season
now
running.
It's just like, oh, God, we're still going.
We're still doing this.
I can still do it. I'm getting older, but I can still do it. I still got it in me. No, I do. I do, and I will.
We all do.
We all do, and we all will. But yeah, it's been really nice.
What did you do for content back then when you took that time off? Were you still posting every day?
Probably not every day, but for the most part, yeah. And I would just post, you know, design stuff or, you know, just whatever really. Like, if you run out of like content ideas, I feel like we're so focused on creating new stuff all the time that it's like, all right, what new thing do we have? But if you just like scroll back, like you scroll back on the iPad or I scroll back on my phone, like you can create a post out of something like, hey, here's a progress picture that like, hey, if I talk about this is kind of interesting. Let me talk about that. Yeah. So there's always content to be had. Always.
Always good at talking. Finding something to say.
God, it's the only thing I'm good at. God.
All right, so what are some tangible things that you do to get over your winter blues?
I don't know why this is the first thing that came to mind, but
go with it. Go to
Costco. oh God. There's no seasons in Costco. It's just
it's like a casino. You just black out in there.
It's just like heaven in there. I might have a problem with Costco. I probably shouldn't air this on live audio, but I wanted to go to Costco today before this. Mm-hmm. And Sarah was like, we don't need to go to Costco. But we kind of did because we need to get a mattress for the guest room because like her parents are going to be staying over there a lot. So we needed to get that. She was like, but we don't need it right now. We don't need to get it yet. I'm like, well, it's going to snow tomorrow. You know, now it's a little bit of a trek to get there from the new house. So I'm like, I'm coming that way anyway. Let me have this. Let me have my Costco time. And then she was like, think about your family. And I was just like, wow, this is an interesting intersection of time where I want to go to Costco and she's looking at me like, think about your family. You have a problem.
I cannot wait to use that when Pat does anything.
Think about your family.
About your family.
Yeah.
That's the best. Thank you, Sarah, for that line because I do really like that.
So that was kind of funny. And, but I kept it in check. We got the executive membership. You get 2% back.
You're making money at that point.
Basically making money. I had like $320 in free money checks that they just scan and, you know, they send it to you at the end of the year.
Hang on.
Yes.
You get 2% back, and that 2% was $300-something?
Yes.
How much did you spend? What does that mean?
It was 287 was the one, and then 51 was the other. So what's that? That's like $340.
Why was it 2 separate checks?
I think we got the membership maybe in like November. The one was from the previous year. We had it just sitting around the $50 one.
Oh, okay. Because
I think we got it like in November or something. So you're talking probably about 13 months worth of purchases. I don't know. What is that? How much did I spend if that was 2% back? Can you do a quick calculation? It's a lot, I think. So let's see. If it's 10,000,
no,
that
it's
would
300. Let's say it's 300. Half of that is 150. So 1% would be 150. So 150 times 100.
What? $150,000? I didn't spend it. I don't know what. I'm not following your logic. Tell me how much.
No, it'd be $15,000.
Oh, yeah.
You spent $15,000 at Costco in 1 year.
I guess. Okay. Well, I bought work stuff there.
Yes, you did.
I think I might have bought you that computer there. Or no, I got that.
You did, but that was 2.5 years ago.
It carries over. I bought Steve a computer there.
That was a year ago, yeah.
I bought 2 new phones.
You bought
there.
yourself your computer as well. Your new computer.
I got a new computer.
You got 2 new computers.
I got Sarah a computer. I got 2 phones. The one phone was for content, and so is mine. Did I really spend that much there? No,
that's
that can't.
That's what the math would.
That's how the math
lead one to believe.
No. It's like $7,000. That's what I spent. I'm gonna. Oh God, I don't have my phone.
I know it's recording.
Do 7,000 times 0.02.
Do I have a calculator on this?
Yeah, definitely.
On this computer that I'm on?
We have to get to the bottom of this. We have to.
Well, okay. Did you understand the way that I'm doing it?
No, just do 7,000. Do 6,800 times 0.02. I think that's what it is.
6,800
times 0.02
times 0.02 equals $136. So my math is correct. The way that I did it was 300 is 2%, which means 150 is 1%, and 1% times 100%. Does that make sense to you?
I don't know.
Well,
do 15,000 times 0.02. It seems like your math's mathing more than my math is mathing.
15,000 times 0.02 is $300. So $15,000.
Oh God. How is that possible? That's not even possible. I bought 2 TVs.
I feel like that's incredibly possible. You were making big purchases. You bought computers and,
phones.
It's still a lot.
I spent like $6,000 just that one day. Buying a whole bunch of new stuff.
$6,000 in one day?
I think so. 2 phones. The phones were like $1,400 a piece.
Huh.
But that was for content.
Anyway.
That much?
It's okay. You can self-reflect on that on your own. But anyway, so
My name is Sean, and I have a problem. Costco Anonymous.
we got distracted by the Costco thing. I asked you what you do to fight your winter blues, and you said the first thing that comes to my mind is, what was that thing?
I had a really nice breakfast burrito yesterday.
We are giving hard hitting tips.
No,
on this
I think it does hold some weight here. Is that the
Okay.
new place?
Elaborate.
The new deli that
Oh,
is
in Nashville, your new local joint.
Oh, great. They're famous for the breakfast burritos there.
Okay.
And it did not disappoint. But it's one of those things that, yesterday, freezing cold. It was actually on the way home because we did go on site for a little bit thinking we might work.
Yeah.
And then, it's like, I got some stuff I can take care of at home. This is great, but it's not as pressing. I can stop.
Right.
Get a nice breakfast burrito, drive it home, eat it. It's it's a little bit of a slower pace, and you get time for those breakfast burritos that you might not otherwise.
That metaphor was beautiful.
Did I wrap it up nicely?
You did.
You get it? Burrito
I did,
wrapped up?
yes.
Okay. Honestly, it's great, though. It's so good. It had sausage, bacon, pork roll, eggs, cheese, tater tots.
Ooh, tater tots.
Wrapped in
Nice
one. It was
addition.
amazing.
Okay. Yeah, it does sound pretty good.
So good. So, anyway, was that hard hitting enough for you?
I'll tell you what, it wasn't what I was expecting you to say. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but that wasn't it. But
That's when the
Love
best stuff
that.
comes out.
yeah.
When, you say, I wasn't expecting that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so some other stuff. I guess hard hitting stuff. Try to get out of that, anxiety. I should be doing something. I should be out there on the job site. I should be being productive. When it's too cold or the weather doesn't allow you to be out there working and you make that decision, okay, we're not going to be on site because everyone's going to be miserable. We're going to get almost nothing done. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be able to produce the type of work that we want to produce. Once you make that decision, get out of your own head about second guessing it or, oh my God, it's costing this much money. You made the decision, move on, and be able to get a little bit of a breather yourself, whether you're an employee or the owner, be able to take a breather and enjoy
the breather.
Enjoy that little bit of a slow time. Because yesterday when I got home, after the breakfast burrito, which was great, also Sarah took Max to her parents' house yesterday because normally, we're both working on Wednesdays. So I had the house to myself. I was able to get so much work done, but I was sitting on my couch, listening to music, knocking work out, and it wasn't it wasn't that high-paced thing where we're on the job site, there's work going on outside, running back and forth. It was such a slower pace. I was able to get so much more work done, and it wasn't super exhausting. It was more I was filling up my cup whilst pouring it out.
Very
I
nice.
became the waterfall.
So
Was
zen.
that
Beautiful.
better than the breakfast burrito thing?
Oh, who's to say?
You got to taste it. You'd be like, and my God, the turkey club I got there, I love this place. It's my new
If I'm
favorite
out
place.
that way. There's a small livestock auction out that way that I'm gonna hit up pretty soon, and
Yeah.
I'll make sure to stop there when I go to that.
It's so good. Oh, it's great. It's so great. What do you got? What do you do when you're feeling so sad? Seasonal affective disorder.
Well, I will say these past couple of days when we've been working from home, I have not had the same vibe because I have a 5-month-old puppy at my house who has decided that she absolutely hates being in the crate. So she's either distracting me when she's down with me or when I put her away in the crate, she's screaming her head off. So I have not been able to deep focus too well because it's a distracting environment, to
Yeah.
say the least. So tomorrow I feel like I'm probably going to head over to a Starbucks or something so I can actually get out of the house and kind of do that more.
Maybe go to a library.
I feel like libraries will probably be closed because it's going to snow. But
Right.
good thinking.
Not
idea.
really. People would be like, what is she, like a college student? Oh, no. She's like...
I would love to be mistaken for a college student.
Well, no. I'm not saying like people would think you're of normal college age. They'd be like, oh,
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Sad college.
old lady going
okay.
back
Maybe
to community college, going to the library.
Oh.
I went to
Bless
the
her
library a
heart.
couple times when I was like, I was really given, what the good a real college try.
Oh.
Isn't that like a saying?
Yeah.
I was trying to do college, and I even went to a library a couple times.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I, haven't hit that focus thing, but I will say the thing that I do, I hate when I get in a rhythm of like just going to work, going home, waking up the next morning, going to work, going home, and like not like shifting my brain into anything else.
Right.
Because then it just feels like I'm working or I'm like rotting on my couch, not doing
One
not
or the other.
Yeah, it's like work or rot, and I need like a little bit of something in between those two things. So in the winter, there's like a lot less going on. It's
Just full
cold
rotting.
out. It's like hot. Like it's hard to go outside. It's like
Yeah.
so I'd make a conscious effort of like planning things to do. So like this weekend, I've planned a little paint party for my friends to come over and do that. So that's like a nice break. I'm excited to have planned that. We'll do that, and it's like a nice shift in my brain state where I'm like, I'm not working, and I'm not just like rotting. I'm doing something
Painting.
to change up the.
Is
change up
Sarah
the
going to
thing.
this?
Yeah,
When is this?
Saturday
At night or during the day?
at night, 7 p.m.
She did not run this by me.
I gotta stop saying things.
You do. You're really throwing her under the bus. No, that's fine. That's fine.
So yeah, I think that helps because in the summer or like up until the holidays, you're so busy with like managing so many things, and
Right,
it's
right,
time
right.
go by so fast, and then it feels like you hit a brick wall after the holidays where it's just like it's just cold out and no one wants to do anything, and it's like
Yeah.
you're just kind of cooped up in your house or you go to work, and that like back and forth really is not good for my brain. So
Yeah.
I like to spice it up a little bit. And especially
Yeah.
now, I'm not even getting out of the house because we're working at home this week. I'm like,
Right,
my God.
right. Yeah. Time for planning some friend time. What are you guys painting?
Well, everyone can paint whatever they want. So you can
I like that.
they can either freestyle it. I'm going to set up a still life. They can paint that. Or if they wanted to, they could send me something beforehand and I'd sketch it on the canvas for them so that when they get there, it's like ready to paint. Like if they want to do like a pet portrait or something.
Okay.
But I'm doing this because
That's a lot of work for you.
Well, I'm planning to do this for the yacht club as a fundraiser in the summer. So this is like my practice dry run with my friends.
Sounds like more
So,
like a
I'm really
fundraiser.
Thanks.
Psych. No, it doesn't. No, I'm just kidding. It sounds like a good time.
Anyway, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
and I'm really
I
excited
bet it
about
will.
it. And it's been fun to plan, and it's been fun to plan the other one that will be this summer. And
Yeah.
it's like it's just a nice mental shift. I'm a person who needs I need a lot going on. I need
Yeah.
I don't do well when it's just like kind of like stagnant, slow time.
Right.
I need I need planning. I need stuff to look forward
Something to look forward to on the
So-
weekend.
and
Yeah.
shifts. I need mental shifts. So
Your brain's like a stick shift car. You can't just be going into first gear all day.
Oh God, no.
You got to open it up on the highway every once in a
Every
while.
once in a while, you got to get into sixth gear.
Sixth gear.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least
Sports
fourth.
car.
Something. I need to be moving.
Yes. That's good. That's insightful.
Yeah.
That's really good. You
Just
should
an idea.
just an idea, something to think about. Painting. I'm excited to see what Sarah's looks like because she did buy a painting online for our bedroom. We've since decided that we're going to return it, but
Oh.
she said, I think she texted this to you. My toxic trait is knowing I could paint something but buying it anyway. And I was like, I don't know if I've seen your painting skills, but like, this isn't like a photorealistic painting, but it's still like it's probably computer generated. But I'm like, you have a lot of confidence in your painting skills out of nowhere. I've never seen you paint, so I'm excited to see what she comes up with at this paint party.
Yeah.
Because she talked herself up pretty good.
Well.
I do believe she can do anything, but I haven't seen it yet. So with the painting,
I think most people would be surprised with what they paint. Like, are able to paint.
Oh
I
yeah.
think with that kind of stuff, people usually like sell themselves pretty short, or they say like, I can't do that, so then they don't try.
Right.
But painting is like,
Well, she didn't say that. She basically said like, I'm Rembrandt, but I just don't have the time, so I'm gonna buy this.
I love the confidence.
This one was from last week.
You just drank a beer that was from
Just like a couple
not even last week,
drips of something.
or maybe that was last week.
I don't know. That was gross. Okay. Anyway.
right.
So I guess moral of this is everything's going to be a little slower. Make sure you take advantage of it a little bit. Like, take a little bit of a break. Mental, physical, whatever. You can, your break could be, now I have all the time to work out and, really exercise a lot. Like, if that's something that you don't get a lot of time for during the rest of the year and that's something that you would look forward to and, like, enjoy, do that. If you're running and gunning all year and you don't get a lot of, like, physical break, take a rest. Take a modified hibernation, just chill. Lay on the couch for a whole day.
Modified hibernation. I do like that.
Modified hibernation is the new big thing. Yeah,
Newest
but just,
wellness trend.
Yeah. Just like don't beat yourself up because you're not going to be as productive as you are like the rest of the year. You can't operate at 100% efficiency all year round. I mean, some people are saying, "Oh, with that attitude," I would usually be the one saying that, but
I think that's it. You're not going to be at 100%. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Enjoy this small bit of a break.
Yeah.
Or not a break, but a slowdown. Enjoy the slowdown while you can take it.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, if you're just running like, 100% of the time, all the time, I feel like it doesn't give you that period to like rest and then like the next time you get after it again, you have improved. You know what I mean? It's like training physically. It's like you ramp up a series of training and then you have a like taper period or rest period. And then when you start the next period of training, you're stronger than you were the last time. If you just keep trying to ramp it up constantly without taking like a little bit of a slowdown or a break or a modified hibernation, you just kind of burn yourself out and you don't like take those big leaps forward. So look at it that way. That the most productive thing that you can do is take it easy. You like that?
Loved it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And does that wrap up our sad talk?
Yep, that does.
Another thing, build a snowman. It's pretty fun.
You had a good time when you built a snowman?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last. Oh, well, no, I did build a snowman like 2 years ago, I guess.
Cool.
I remember a picture of it.
Cool.
All right, so let's go into the book
Did
portion.
you put a hat on it?
I feel like I did put a hat on it.
I feel like a hat is like, I didn't really feel like Herman came to life until we put the hat on.
His name was Herman?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, Max every morning, well, it's only been like 2 days, but the last 2 mornings, he's like, Herman's still there. Yeah, he loved it. So
Herman's going to get fatter tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be fun.
He's taking a modified hibernation for sure. All right.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get into our book review. How long have we been going? It feels like a long time ago.
Week. Do you want to guess?
Oh, do I want to guess? I'm going to say 3946.
4408.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this week we
Hold on, I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
I feel like this episode has been a good example, or even like a what do you call that thing where you if you're gonna try to get a job, you do the resume. This could be like a good resume piece if we wanted to be on the radio. People on the radio, like, they don't really talk about anything, but they're talking the whole time. I feel like we did a really good job of that today.
Yeah, I like that. I agree.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
So, just filling space with our voices.
Sean and Catherine in the morning on Q102.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. Let us know what you think.
I feel like that's actually probably exhausting. Like, Like, we do this once a week, but the people that do it every single day for like 4 hours a day, my God.
I think I could do it.
I don't doubt that you could, actually.
Thanks for believing in me. Not sure if that's an insult or a compliment, but
No, you always.
I appreciate it.
Sometimes you're talking, and I'm like, he's still going.
He's still going.
He's still going. I don't know what he's talking about anymore, but he's.
Yeah. I do that myself. I'm like, oh, that guy's still talking. Oh my God, that guy's me. I'm the one that's still talking. Anyway, okay.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the book, or you got one
Now
more
we're
thing?
going to talk about the book.
Okay. So this week, well, for the past like 3 weeks, really, we've been reading Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And this book was written in like, I don't know, the 30s or something, right?
Yes.
It was originally written in the 30s. And then if you buy like an updated version now, I think it's his daughter went through and kind of updated some of the references.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they give like newer references than like the 30s.
Yeah, I didn't know it was his daughter or anything.
It says it in the
Footnotes.
in the forward. I think it's his daughter. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's
I
his
don't know.
daughter.
Sure.
But it's one of those like timeless books that, yeah, they updated some of the references, but like the ideology is there, and it just makes it just makes sense. And
It does.
one of the reasons why I love this book is because I feel like when you read this type of book, a lot of the times, like the book we read about how to, and now I can't remember what the book was called that we just read. Read People Like a Book or whatever. And it's trying to like tell you how to like, those books always seem like you're trying to like get the better of another person, or you're trying to get one over on them, or you're trying to like,
It's all about yourself.
And like,
Yeah.
But this book just like, the purpose of this book is to make you a better communicator, pretty much. It's not like a sleazy, like, I'm going to get the better of this person. I'm going to figure out what they're talking about so I can win this argument or whatever.
Yeah.
How to Win Friends and Influence People is really about how to make yourself a better communicator so you can get things across in a more, in a better way, and like kind of end out on top, but in like a less sleazy way. Do you agree?
Where everybody ends up on top.
Yeah.
Everybody wins in these
Yes.
in a lot of these scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it like addresses that in the book a lot, where it's like I'm not talking about like when you are I think it's he references a lot Andrew Carnegie, who was like the president of U.S. Steel, I think it was, and then went to Bethlehem Steel, and like was like a huge industrialist, like mega super wealthy person.
He was like the businessman of businessmen at the time.
Yeah. And that might have actually been Charles Schwab that went to Bethlehem Steel. But anyway, and I forget which one it was, but like the one quote they say is, always be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. And like, I think that gets lost a lot of times. Like, people just think that like when things are going well, like they think, oh yeah, this person like knows that I appreciate them. They know that I think they're doing a great job. They know all these things. But it's good to just have the mindset of like, anytime somebody does something good or does a good job, or like goes out of their way to just do anything for you or for your business or whatever, to really go out of your way and like compliment them and say, I recognize what you're doing, and it's awesome. And that like really goes a long way. And I think people, myself included, can just like, you kind of forget, like, yeah, everybody knows I appreciate them so much. Of course they do. But, you can never do it too much.
Yeah.
And I think, it's just, I look at this book as a great reminder of all of these things that, like, it's not something that you read once and you take everything and you just implement it into your life and you just, like, are great at all these things. You need to be reminded of these things, and it's just, like, everyday little things, and it's mindset shifts about how you talk to people and I love it. It's probably like the fourth time I've read this book,
Yeah.
and every single time it just like refocuses you on the things that are important, like when you interact with people.
Yeah. The book is broken up into 4 parts, and then each part has has principles. So I can't add up all. I have them all written down, but I can't add them all up. But there's 30 something principles.
You can't add? That's so
I don't
sad.
know. Yeah, I don't know how to actually.
I never knew that. I have them all written down here, but I can't add them up.
I can't add them up.
Because I don't know how to add.
It's all written separately.
I know.
I could
kidding.
take the time, but it wouldn't make for good radio. Anyway, there's about 30 principles in this book, so that's why it's such a good book to read over and over again, because each time you read it, you're going to pick out a different principle and be like, oh wow, this really applies to the situation that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Or I can really this certain thing is really resonating with me at this time in my life.
Yes.
So it's definitely a book to be revisited. And I personally like reading the paper copy of this book. That's what I have done in the past, and I did this time. So how do you want to dive into this? You want me to pick a principle and we can talk about it?
Yes.
Okay. Picking one at random. Let's see. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain.
I like that. I do.
Yeah.
I like that, and I feel like this is something that I always try to keep in mind. Like, what's the one thing that I'll get mad at work?
If somebody forgets to set up the time lapse.
Exactly. That's the only thing that I'll get a little bit ticked off about. But
or if the concrete is not working out.
Well, I wasn't mad at anybody else. I was just mad at myself and the situation. But a lot of times I feel like, especially in the trades, it's almost it's a thing where bosses get pissed off at everything, every little mistake. It's just that's what a construction boss is. You messed this up, you idiot. What are you doing? Just people getting berated all the time. And I feel like I'm pretty decent at just when things go wrong, keeping a level head. Hey, this this got cut wrong, or oh, this is messed up. It's okay, well, it's already happened. I think you didn't do it on purpose. Mm-hmm. This is a big project. There's lots of different stuff going on. Can't do everything 100% right. So I always look at it that way. If I was doing every single one of these tasks, I would have messed one of them up too. So it just happens, and I feel like I'm very reluctant to condemn or say you effed up, you idiot.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I would say sometimes I am proud, and I think you guys all know this, that sometimes I'll say stuff in a very sarcastic way that's just joking, and I hope that you guys always know that I'm always joking with that, but I think you guys know that I'm not usually ever mad or gonna blame something on somebody that if they made a mistake.
Yeah.
It's okay, we'll fix it.
Yeah. So this principle it's about how people receive information and what elicits change. So let's say Sean said, build this mantle, and I build it wrong. And you come up to me and you're like, Catherine, you messed this up. How dare you do this? Everything about this is wrong. And you're telling me all the things that I did wrong.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted a woman to do this.
You're so frustrated, and you're coming at me. And in your mind, that's your gut reaction. You saw it, you're mad, you're frustrated, and you're telling me about it. This is a fake scenario, just
Am I
just so we know.
snapping at you?
You're snapping,
I'm
you're getting sassy, and you're mad, and you're letting your gut reaction come across to me. But in reality, what you want is for that not to have happened, which is not going to happen because it already did happen, but you want it to be fixed. But the way that you're saying it is making me go, oh God, And now I'm mad, or I'm getting defensive, or I'm getting mad, and it's not going to get the change that you want because now I'm mad and defensive. The better
That doesn't sound like you. You wouldn't get defensive. No, I'm just kidding.
The better way to go about that situation is like, take a second, take a breather. Frustration and being upset about something wrong is like, it's a normal reaction, but it's not how you should react to the situation to other people because it's not going to get the thing that you want.
Yeah.
You have to think about it for a second and be like, okay, this thing happened. We can't undo what happened. How are we going to fix it? And then instead of criticizing, condemning, or complaining, you go to the person and you give them constructive criticism and say like, hey, I saw that like, this thing wasn't right. Just so you know in the future, like these are the things that, you say it in a nicer way, and that's going to get the result that you want, not getting angry and like screaming and yelling and berating your employees. You disagree? You're shaking your head.
I don't think I think it would be more like this. Like, okay, let's play out the scenario. You have completely messed up this mantle. It's really just it's a butcher job. And I walk up and I see this, just complete butchered mantle.
Yeah.
And I do want to pause for a second and say, you did just do a mantle.
That's why the example came to my mind.
But the mantle you did turned out great. It turned out beautiful.
Thank you.
It was sanded so smooth. It was installed so level. It was really, you did a great job.
Thank you.
So this is not a real scenario. But I would, I think the ideal way to deal with that scenario is I see that it's messed up. And whether it's your fault that you didn't know what you were doing or it's my fault that I didn't give you, correct, like enough direction, the best thing that I can do in that scenario is instantly say something that makes it my fault. Like, oh, you know what? I messed up. I'm such an idiot. I didn't realize I didn't tell you to do this. I can't believe I messed that up. And now you are like, you kind of realize, okay, this is messed up a little bit, but he's putting the blame on him. It gives me the opportunity to say, oh man, I should have asked you. How this was supposed to be. And I say, no, it's my job to give you, I should have laid this out. I completely overlooked that.
I feel like that treads on thin ice that you could be like
patronizing?
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot. I didn't tell you to, that level, that mantle is supposed to be level. Oh my God.
I'm such an idiot. Oh.
I do like where your head's at, but I do think that could.
Well, you gotta see, this is why it's a skill. You have to really skillfully do this. But I think, I was just gonna say, I think this is another thing that I'm pretty good at, but maybe this is just me, just not having good self-awareness. I don't know. I'm just saying all the things that, I'm pretty good at this one too. Like self-deprecating humor. Like I'm pretty good at like putting myself down, like, and I think that in a way puts other people at ease when you're like, and we talked about it last week, like I'll take it. I can dish it out and I can take it too. And I think that like puts people at ease, and I'm always willing to be like, oh, I'm an idiot. I messed up, and I think whether it's like specific to like a very specific scenario or just in general, I think when you are a boss or whatever, whenever you can like, just like be real with yourself and be like, every time you make a mistake, you're like, I'm an idiot. I messed that up. What was I thinking? It leaves open the opportunity for other people to like feel like they have the space to say, I can't believe I messed that up. What the hell was I thinking? And not like be condemned for it. It's just like, you made a mistake. Well, I'll move on. And I'm like, I would have messed that up 10 times worse than you just did, because I'm the bigger idiot. And then it gets into like a who's the bigger idiot fight. And you will always lose that one. So anyway, I think it never does any good to condemn people when they make a mistake. You really
it's
have
never going to get the response that you want.
Exactly.
It's not going to get the outcome that you want.
Exactly. Because the thing's already happened. It's like, what do we do from here?
Yeah.
Is it going to lead to a better outcome if this person gets defensive and it's like, well, you didn't give me the right tools to do this? Or is it like, hey, it's messed up. It needs to be redone. Give that person like kind of an out to save their ego and just say, that's my bad. I should have told you, like, we're using a different type of fastener on this. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm messed up. That's my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. You know, did that sound less patronizing?
Yeah.
The first time probably did sound a little patronizing, but give the people an out to like save their ego. And because I'm not even saying that in a bad way, that like people have a big ego. Like that's just a human thing that like when somebody comes at you and it's like, you messed this up. What were you thinking, you idiot? It's like, what do you, I don't know. I was just doing what you said.
Yeah.
You a-hole. You know, it's just not it's not conducive for getting stuff done.
Yeah. And I do want to say the complain portion of this. My God, no one wants to work with a complainer. If you're just a person just constantly complaining, like no one likes that. Just knock it off.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Just shut up.
Figure out how to make that complain into like an action or like spin it into a positive. But I feel like people get into such complain holes and it's like, no one wants to listen to that.
Yeah, totally.
And that's part of it. Okay. We'll just pick one more because we're actually at an hour now. So
okay,
we're running out of time here. Let's see.
Maybe we can cut out some of that radio fluff we did in the beginning. No, that's gold.
So part 3 of this book is how to win people to your way of thinking.
Yeah.
Which, like I said before, this is like a good chapter on how to like just get your point across in the best way. Be a good communicator.
Yeah.
Principle 1, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Which I love this because I feel like I am so
argumentative. Yeah, same. Same.
But it's so true. Like once you're already in an argument with somebody, and I feel like this it applies to life in general because it's like whether it's like politics or like whatever, like if you're in an argument with somebody, all you're trying to do is to get them to see your way of thinking, and all they're trying to do is get you to think the way that they think, and you're never going to come together. So don't figure out how a way to make a conversation instead of an argument. Unless
I feel like we do this sometimes. Like sometimes when the van gets a little boring, like sometimes we just argue.
That's like it's like a shtick at this point. It's
I
like
know. It's just like it's not even like a real argument. It's just like it's just kind of just for fun, and and I think we both know it.
Yeah.
But like when you argue with somebody, it's like both people are basically like blacked out. They're not even listening to what the other person. They're just like preparing their rebuttal as you're
100%.
talking,
or they're like picking a technicality that you said, and they're like running with that little thing or something. Like.
And then it's just like everyone gets pissed off, and like it doesn't do any good. So while I do love and that's like kind of it's like a thing in my family, like where we'll all like argue with each other and like, just like debate about stuff and like, and just be real sarcastic. It's like very much like a Collins Grew thing. So I don't want to take that joy away from myself because it's so fun, but know like who your audience is. And like, I know when like we're doing, like when we're arguing about something in the van or something, like it's just for fun almost. Yeah. It's just like, it is like a shtick at that point where it's like, oh, Big Bad Catherine. And you're like, oh, you little bitch, all that kind of stuff. But when you're actually trying to like get somebody to think like you or get your point across, and it does no good to argue with somebody.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
Yeah. And the next principle of this, which I just kind of want to touch on, is show respect for other people's opinions. Never say that you're wrong. And I think that that's so important to like, when you are arguing with someone, all you're trying to do is make them think like you. But like, not everybody has to think like you or agree with you. You can just be like, okay, cool. That's your opinion. Got it. Love that. And like,
that sounded patronizing. Got it. Love that. Love that for you.
Love that for you. I mean in that way, but like there are times when we're in the van and like we'll disagree on content, and then you'll be like, no, I'm going to do it this way. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't agree with you, but that's fine. I think that's okay too. And
for the record, it always does sound patronizing when you do that. That's fine. Fine. That is exactly what you say all the time. No, I don't agree, but that's fine. That's fine. And the more high pitched you get, the more I know that you're actually like fuming inside. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't agree. It's fine.
I don't agree, but it's fine. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that proved or disproved any type of point there, but
Well, you can't. I'm not going to give up my scruples. I'm not going to like be like, oh, you know what? You are right. Like, I still think what I think, but it's okay to disagree.
but also
We're never going to agree on everything, and no one ever is.
yeah, and
Pat,
we
the person who I've chosen to spend my whole life with, I love him more than anything. I've chosen to make massive life decisions with him. He's my best
fight
friend.
with him more than anybody.
Oh, God, all the time.
Why does it always work that way?
I'm just kidding. We don't really fight, but we don't agree on everything. My parents.
You guys probably fight a lot.
They shaped me as a person. I don't agree with them on everything, too. So it's like you're never going to agree with every single person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or anyone, for that matter, I guess.
Yeah. And it's usually well, no, I don't want to say the people you spend the most time with you agree with the less, but like, that's like, you know.
The most opportunities to fight
exactly,
about
yeah. So like, you know, and it's been documented right here that sometimes I just get a little rammy and I want to argue. So like, you know, especially like when me and Sarah are just hanging around the house, you know, because it's snow day. She was on the phone today and the person she was talking to was like, is that Sean in the background? He's not working again today? And she's like, no, he's home again. And it was good that I went to Costco because, you know, get out of her hair for a little bit.
Need a little bit of a break.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think it's important to know, like, who the audience is, who's the other person, what is the end goal. Like, part of your job is to, like, say how you really feel. If you don't agree with me, part of your job is to say, like, no, I don't. That's what you're here for.
Right.
So, as much as I joke and I'm like, you know, we do have a good balance of, like, some people are yes men, some people are not. You are not. You know, part of your job is to give me your honest opinion, and I must compliment you. You are always willing to give your unfiltered opinions. It is such an amazing asset that you have. You're so good at that.
It's you know what?
You're just a natural at
Thank
just
you.
giving your totally unfiltered opinion about everything.
It's
no.
a skill. It's a skill.
It is a skill. But that's my point. Like,
No, I
I
think
know.
it actually means that I feel like we have a very healthy workplace because
Exactly.
we do have like the people like Anthony needs to give his unfiltered opinion, and I do as well to create. You know, nobody's trying to undermine each other. We just all want the best for this thing that we're trying to drive forward.
yeah,
So, you know, it's the best dynamic.
absolutely. I think it's the
And
best.
if you don't agree with me, then you're wrong and you're dumb.
Yes, exactly. But I think that's a fair point. Know your audience, like know who you're arguing with.
Yes.
Is it, you know, because I think sometimes, not an argument, but like a difference of opinion is really valid and really productive. But
Yeah.
when it's somebody that like, a lot of times in like somebody that you're approaching for business or somebody that you're like trying to, you know, work with, a lot of times an argument's not going to be productive at all, and it just doesn't make any sense to do it. And when it's not regarding business or anything like that, like there's really no point to argue.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a family member because they're stuck loving you. So like you can argue with them as much as you want. But just like at a dinner party, like nobody likes the person that's like, oh, well, actually, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up, Randy. No one cares. We get it. You have a doctorate from community college. Wow. Really cool. You almost made it on Jeopardy once. Great. No one cares. Shut up. Anyway, is that where we should wrap it up?
I think so. I
Okay.
think we're well over time now, so
Well-
we can talk about this book for a long time though. And maybe we'll talk about it again because there's so many good points in it.
Well, what is
only
the
got to
book
2.
for next week? And we're back. We did take a brief pause there and a little behind the scenes. Our phones are recording us. There's no internet for the computer here. Kyler was like, I don't know. What should we do? My phone's over here. Your phone's over there. My computer doesn't get any internet. And I said, we know books. We're people that know books. And we came up with a great one that I have listened to, but it's been a couple years now. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It's a really interesting listen. I feel like it's some self-help type books or business books can be very dry. This is a good, entertaining listen. It keeps you, engaged. And I love the principle of extreme ownership. It's always your fault.
Yeah.
Always your fault.
I haven't read this book yet, so I'm excited to get into it. And I will say that it's probably one of your most quoted books on the job site. You always talk about extreme ownership, so I'm excited to learn more.
Yeah, because a lot of people compare me to Jocko.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know nothing about him, so I can't wait to figure out where that parallel is.
Yeah. We're both pretty big, tough guys. So anyway, read along with us if you will. Please subscribe to this podcast. Please leave us a review.
Yes.
And follow us on social media.
Yeah.
Hardworking Happy Hour.
And say hi to us or
Say
something.
hi, please. It's the wintertime. We're so sad.
We're so lonely and sad.
Anyway, until next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.